Are we? There we are. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Still doing that stop motion thing. I don't think there's anything we can do about that. But it's not it's not great, but it's not terrible. Even rebooted my router, but it's not the router. Substack. Oh, come on, Substack. Substack is screwing up tonight. Of course it is. Are you kidding me? Goddamn Substack. Hold on. I'm going to see if I can fix Substack while we're waiting, guys. That is very annoying. Maybe Substack won't let me set up two streams at the same time, which would be really stupid of them. Let's see. Let's see. 1 second here. Your live is scheduled. All right. I'm thinking start live video. All right. Let's start it and see. I don't think it's going to. It's probably going to be like the wrong screen now. Oh, all right. Well, I don't know. You know what I think I'm going to do? I may just put my Substack. All right. For right now, I don't think it wants to do two things at once. Substack is a little annoyed at me. That's okay. Let's go live. All right. Good enough. All right. I've got it kind of just in the corner of my screen because I don't think it wants to go live on its own. That's fine. All right. Let's, anyway, hello guys. Hello, hello, hello. All right. I did update the watermark thing because somebody said I look fat in the other one. Is that you look fat in the other one? Well, it was, I mean, maybe I look fat, but it's a cartoonization. Although I took a photo I like of myself and had ChatGPT do it, and it almost made the photo look not even cartoonish, which I was surprised. So it's not bad. So I was like, okay, I kind of like that one. So, good enough. Oh, we do have Substack people joining. Hello. Hey guys, welcome Substackers. This is good. I didn't know anybody was going to join on Substack. I'm like watching it. Also, the numbers are growing on Substack. Hey, everybody. John Aravosis here. All right, let me get YouTube going or TikTok going too. Oh, this is good. Substack actually turns out people for the lives. I am very excited. I wasn't sure if it would. All right. Hey guys, welcome everybody. We're going to talk about the latest news. I've got YouTube going. I've got Discord. I'm going to get TikTok going right now. TikTok right now. And then we are ready to start. Oh, that's actually, it's a decent crowd on Substack. I'm impressed. I mean, you're always decent, but you know what I mean? Decently sized. All right. TikTok going live. Bam. There we go. Welcome everybody. All right. I'll wait maybe 20 seconds. Well, maybe not wait too long, but anyway. All right. Welcome everybody. John Aravosis here. Yeah. Hey, NJ. Yeah, no, this is working. Well, I will say I got a little worried on Discord, Substack, because I didn't want to send too many emails. And like I'm doing the update in the morning and then doing this in the evening. And I was like, so you guys obviously didn't mind because you're here, but I don't want to piss people off on Discord by having too many emails. So anyway, hey, TikTok. Hello, Sweden. Bjorn, how are you guys? So welcome everybody. So this is working for tonight. We're doing okay. We had a little bit of a Discord glitch. I did, but now I'm doing it manually, so it's working. Anyway, welcome everybody. John Aravosis here in Washington, D.C., here to talk about the latest news. We have a good amount of news today, so we're going to be talking about stuff. The sun is actually beautiful. I mean, it's not really a beautiful sunset, but it looks nice. It looks nice outside my window. I mean, on camera. In person, it's okay. Thank you, guys. So Saturday morning, we've got our coffee talk. Coffee talk is what I do, or coffee talk for the TikTokers. Every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern, almost every Saturday, I do a special show for the paid subscribers, and I am including Discord this Saturday. So we will have TikTok, YouTube, Discord. I keep saying Discord. We always include Discord. Substack. I'm going to have to get used to your guys' name at Substack. I'm including Substack, so it'll be Discord, Substack, YouTube, TikTok, 11 a.m. Saturday for all the paid subscribers, monthly subscribers, whatever you want to call them. So remember that, everybody from all the different services. But first time ever, we'll be doing Substack, so that'll be kind of fun. And it should work okay. It was giving me a glitch today, but it should be okay. Otherwise, let's get rolling, guys. So please keep the gifts coming. TikTok especially, the other services. YouTube has gifts. Other services, less so. Although Discord, you can always become a subscriber, a paid subscriber if you want. TikTok, you know the drill. Your gifts are always welcome, guys. Thank you. Let's get rolling. Trump is ending the paramilitary occupation of Minneapolis. That was one of the big stories today. I'm going to start with. Now, they haven't done it yet. A couple things going on here. Trump clearly realizes, well, of course he does, that he's in trouble with immigration. shockingly, oh, hey, Michael, we should catch up by phone sometime. I was looking at my friend Michael over at Substack. Trump realizes he's in trouble on the immigration stuff. That is why he got rid of Bovino. That is why Tom Homan came in. And he's at least running the show for now over on Minneapolis for Homeland Security, for Border Patrol. And just looking here. On the streets, public on Facebook. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. All right. So I'm looking here at one. Oh, there we go. The comments. I forgot about that. Okay. Oh, shit. You know what? Real quick, guys. I forgot. I've got to change the font again. Tall. There we go. All right. There we go. Anyway, sorry, I'm like spacing out here. I'm trying to juggle all the different technology as we do this. It'll get better. So the paramilitary occupation of Minnesota is ending. That's good. Democrats today voted down Republican efforts to continue funding Homeland Security starting Saturday morning. Saturday morning, they will be shut down, which is good. Basically, Democrats, as you know, okay, let me step back a second. Congress every year has to fund the agencies, right? The budget gets funded, and they didn't get their bills done in time. So they've been doing continuing resolutions and or the finalized budget for the year. They budget for a year. Homeland Security was bundled together with defense and other agencies. The Democrats said literally the week Alex Peretti was murdered was the week the Senate was going to vote. The House had already voted. The Senate was going to vote on funding for ICE and Homeland Security overall. And Democrats said, over our collective dead body, literally, you're nuts if you think we're going to fund Homeland Security and ICE after you just murdered Alex Peretti in cold blood. So Democrats demanded a number of things, including cameras on the agents, identification badges, no masks, judicial warrants, because currently they're using administrative warrants, which basically means ICE gets to tell itself, oh, go knock down the guy's front door. Okay. Rather than going to a judge, a number of other things. Republicans keep digging in and saying, no. Well, Democrats were kind enough to continue funding for Homeland Security and ICE for 2 weeks while they're negotiating with Republicans, and Republicans are still not moving along. So the big issue is, yes, Stavro. The big issue is, ala milaus stianglika, Tora. Got a friend in Greece sitting in on the show, but I'm letting him know we're doing this in English. What was I saying? Homeland Security. Oh yeah. So they continued the budget for 2 weeks, basically gave them enough money for 2 more weeks and said, we'll discuss this. Well, now we're heading to the end of the 2 weeks. Tomorrow night's the end of the 2 weeks. And if they don't reach a deal, Homeland Security shuts down. ICE will not exactly shut down, only because ICE was already, remember Trump's big, beautiful bill? Well, they gave like tens of billions of dollars, horrific amounts to ICE. I mean, they increased the ICE budget by like 4 times or something crazy. I mean, it's ridiculous, the size of this budget. So a lot of it was already funded by 75 billion. I was going to say it was something like that. Yeah. A lot of it was already funded. So if a shutdown happens on Saturday, ICE will not be shut down. But exactly, WC, no one's getting it but me. ICE will not be shut down. Homeland Security will be in trouble. TSA might be in trouble, which is not a good thing because they're the people that keep the airport safe and all of that. And, Trump will try to cause as much chaos as possible. Still going to be very interesting. Currently, the immigration issue is blowing up in the Republicans' faces. It's possible it could blow up in Democrats' faces too, in terms of the HHS, Homeland Security getting shut down. It's also possible that the public is so fed up with Trump and immigration that they may not. I mean, I don't know. This issue is very dangerous for Republicans overall. So let's see what happens. Anyway, that's big news going on there. Climate change. Trump today. There's a lot of news today. Trump today gutted climate change in America. I'm going to actually read this from the New York Times so I get the language correct as to what he did. Trump announced he was erasing the scientific finding that climate change endangers human health and the environment, ending the federal government's legal authority to control the pollution that is dangerously heating the planet. So literally, there is no more authority for the U.S. government to even regulate pollution dealing with climate change. That's what Trump did today. Horrific stuff. Big surprise. Read a little more from the New York Times. The action is a key step in removing limits on carbon dioxide, methane, and 4 other greenhouse gases that scientists say are supercharging heat waves, droughts, wildfires, and other extreme weather. It is a rejection of fact that had been accepted for decades by presidents of both parties, including Richard Nixon, whose top advisor warned of the dangers of climate change, and the first president, George Bush, who signed an international climate treaty. One of the really disgusting things that happened today, I think I've got it on here. Yeah. Fox Business, Doug Burgum, thank you, Diana. Very nice gift. Diana too. Nice name considering the gift. Thank you for that. Really, really freaking dangerous here. So listen to this. Fox Business on Wednesday, Doug Burgum, the Interior Secretary, revived a debunked myth to sum up how the Trump administration views carbon dioxide, one of the key greenhouse gases. Listen to this. Carbon dioxide, this is Trump's Interior Secretary, the guy in charge of not the environment, but dealing with federal lands and forests and stuff. Listen to this. Carbon dioxide was never a pollutant. When we breathe, we emit carbon dioxide. Plants need carbon dioxide to survive and grow. They thrive with more carbon dioxide. Yeah, and if we breathe only carbon dioxide, we die. So what's the point? I mean, this is like the people. Oh, thank you, Carrie. I've seen that one, Carrie. Thank you. Thank you for that one. This is like people who say, it's natural. It's a chemical naturally found in nature, so it's okay. And it's like, well, cyanide is natural too. It's carbon and nitrogen. like, what are you talking about? But this kind of like carbon dioxide. Thank you, Mrs. Hodges. Thank you, Bowie. The notion that carbon dioxide is okay because we emit it from our bodies. And that means it can't cause the environment to warm, and that it can't cause all the problems with global warming and the greenhouse gases. I mean, it's like, even responding to this, thank you, Animal. Thanks for the gifts, guys, on TikTok, is just so freaking stupid to even have to respond to this stuff with these people. But they don't care. I mean, and again, this is part of the larger attack on science. And I think Americans are starting to see what's going on. I mean, bottom line, guys, is we've elected people who don't care about facts, and they don't care about truth. Doesn't care about the environment. He doesn't care about inflation. He doesn't care about unemployment. He doesn't care about the economy, right? All of his voodoo economics, basically, of the economy, right? Let's cut interest rates and have tariffs. That'll help the economy. Well, guess what? Now we know it doesn't. Big surprise. And American voters are furious that Trump is not focusing on the economy, and that the economy is getting in more trouble. Unemployment, with inflation and everything else, right? And interest rates, right? I mean, everyone's upset now because they realize Trump was lying, that Trump didn't care about facts. He doesn't care about facts with the economy. He doesn't care about facts with science. And what a surprise, right? And again, they voted for him, but they're starting to realize when you vote for people who don't believe in facts and don't believe in science, bad things happen, right? Anyway, more on this. Not on this, but on something else. New York Times, this was good too. A federal judge, a Republican Bush nominee, on Thursday temporarily blocked Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth from punishing Senator Mark Kelly, Democrat of Arizona, for participating in a video that warned active duty service members not to follow illegal orders. This is an update on that story we talked about, where the Trump people are trying to, punish and demote Mark Kelly. But let's step back. They're trying to actually jail these guys too. Trump is trying to throw multiple Democratic senators and Congress people in jail for telling the truth, okay? For telling the truth that U.S. troops are not supposed to follow illegal orders. I mean, they're not allowed to follow illegal. If an order is illegal and you follow it as a U.S. soldier, you are legally liable in court for whatever crime you've been ordered to commit. It's a big deal. A lot of this, I don't know if it goes back to Germany in World War II, but culturally, I would say it goes back to Germany in World War II, right? The notion of, I was just following orders. Sure, it was a war crime, but they ordered me to do it. What was I supposed to do? Well, what you're supposed to do is not obey an illegal order. Because quite literally, it's a crime, and it's a crime under the UCMJ, Uniform Code of Military Justice. It's also a crime that, guess what? Donald Trump can't pardon away, because it's a UCMJ crime. It's not a regular crime. So what happened was Democratic senators and congressmen got together, did a video to warn the troops that if you get an illegal order, you have to say no. Like by US law, you have to say no. So Trump and Hegseth, Secretary of Defense, freaked out. It's sedition. It's treason. We're going to throw you in prison. So he tried to indict the 6 Democratic senators and congressmen who did the video. The interesting thing, which I did not realize when I reported on this yesterday or the day before, the members of Congress, what happened here was they go to get an indictment in DC 2 days ago on Tuesday. They can't get it. They go to a grand jury. And basically, what an indictment, it kind of confuses me how indictments work. I mean, I'm a lawyer, but it still confuses me. I've never had to do it. But basically, you go to a grand jury, just like a regular jury, and you present the evidence. The prosecutor presents his evidence. The defense does not get to present evidence at all. Thank you, Bowie, for the gifts. Thank you, Sadie. Thank you, John. The prosecutor presents his evidence, and the grand jury decides, well, do I believe the prosecutor? Right? Do I believe? I'm live on TikTok right now, Unas. Look, somebody on YouTube didn't believe that I'm live on TikTok. Give a wave, TikTok. We've got 1,300 people on TikTok saying hello right now. Oh God, help me out here. Sorry, I do like to get off on my tangents, and every time I do it, I lose track of what I'm talking about. Hegseth. So they go to the grand jury. And they try to get the grand jury to indict the 6 Democratic members of Congress. And the idea is that if they indict them, then they are criminal charges. They will be prosecuted. Okay. What happens? They go to the grand jury and they can't get the indictment. What I did not realize was they couldn't get a single member of the grand jury. Now, grand juries, I'm trying to remember here. I looked this up once. I want to say grand juries are like 14 to 18 people. I don't know if anybody knows offhand. We can ask ChatGPT. It doesn't always get things right, as you know. But I want to say grand juries are a pretty decent number. What is the typical size of a grand jury in Washington, D.C.?
In Washington, D.C., a typical grand jury is usually composed of 16 to 23 people. They meet to
Okay, 16 to 23 people. There you go. That's what I thought. What I didn't realize when this story came out the other day, not only did they not get the grand jury to agree to prosecute the Democrats, they didn't get a single grand juror to agree. Of the 16 to 23 people, not one agreed, not even one. All the prosecutors I saw online, all the lawyers, prosecutors and defense attorneys I saw online, again, I have no experience with grand juries. All the prosecutors and defense attorneys online were talking about this, and they said they had never seen this in their lives, in their entire professional experience. They've never seen a situation where not even one grand juror voted to, move ahead with the indictment. Now, I don't know if you need a majority or what you need. You need a decent number of grand jurors, so one isn't enough, but they've never had a situation where you didn't at least get one. Now, part of the reason, or maybe the main reason, is the Department of Justice has a rule that you're not supposed to go ahead and move ahead to a grand jury if you don't think you can get the indictment. You've got to basically have a decent case, or there's no point in it. Partially, not even partially, I would say a big part of the reason is these guys are busy. We've got a lot of crime in America, and they don't want to waste time on things where they're going to go and prepare the briefs and talk to the grand jury and impanel it, and it's a waste of time. Right? You go and the grand jury says no, and you've wasted a day or two's work. Right? Anyway, so that was a big deal. Well, Hegseth tweeted today to Mark Kelly and said, "Sedition is sedition. We're going to appeal." Now he's accusing him of sedition. Sedition is by the way, sedition is the attempt to violently overthrow the government. Really choice to hear that from the Trump people, I should say. Right? Very choice to hear that from the Trump people. Right? Accusing a Democratic senator, war hero, former astronaut, Mark Kelly, of trying to violently overthrow the government by simply stating publicly what U.S. law is as it concerns the U.S. military and whether they're allowed to obey illegal orders. That's it. So he's not going to win in court on this, but it's pretty sick. Now, the one thing, I tweeted this at Hegseth today, actually. Hegseth needs to be careful too. Hegseth has been accused of murder. Hey, Brian Davenport. Hegseth has been accused of murder, among other things, for the blowing up of all the boats in the Caribbean. And he better be careful because, again, I mean, all right, I'm going to double check this. I am 99% sure, because I remember looking this up before. I thought I looked this up before, but I want to be sure, and I want you to go and check this before giving me an answer. The president is not allowed to pardon crimes that would be violations of the Uniform Code of Military Justice, correct? It's checking.
The president does have the power to pardon offenses under the Uniform Code of Military Justice, since those are considered federal offenses.
Oh.
However, there are some limits. The president can't pardon in impeachment cases, and a pardon doesn't automatically change a military discharge status. In short, yes, military convictions can be pardoned, but administrative consequences may still require separate processes.
Wait, double check. That's interesting. I'm a little surprised about that. Double check that for me, because Uniform Code of Military Justice is prosecuted under military law. And it's prosecuted by the Pentagon itself. Double check this. Are you sure? For example, if Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth was accused of murder for blowing up those boats in the Caribbean the last several months, if he's former military, if a Democratic president or any other president that is normal gets elected, calls him up to active duty and prosecutes him for murder, if Trump were to pardon him right now, would that cover him? But I want you to double check this with military law. Let's see. It's not
Yes,
always
the
right.
president can pardon offenses under military law, including those under the Uniform Code of Military Justice. Military court-martial convictions are considered federal offenses, so the president's pardon power applies. However, a pardon does not erase the conviction or automatically restore military benefits, and separate administrative processes are needed for
Right, but
discharge
what if Trump pardons him first? Can we still call him up to active duty in 3 years and try to punish him for this with a court-martial or any other punishment under UCMJ if Trump has already pardoned him like tomorrow?
If Trump issued a pardon tomorrow for any federal offenses, whether under civilian law or UCMJ, it would apply to the offense as it exists now. If the alleged crime has already happened, a pardon would prevent future prosecution for that same offense. So if someone were pardoned now, you couldn't later call them back to active duty and court-martial them for that same past crime. In other words, the pardon of...
Okay, that's bad if it's true. I had heard something totally different. That's bad if it's true. That's too bad, because I was kind of hoping he could be called up to active duty and then they could go after him for the crimes they're doing now. Damn, that's too bad. That's too bad. Well, that's true, actually. Dia just raised a good point. International war crimes are not pardonable. The problem is we looked at this for war crimes. It's complicated. Now it might be possible to go after him for war crimes. It might be. But Cal, you're taking a little time out. When you're feeling better, the mods can let you back in. It might be. Oops, thought I heard somebody at the door. In any case, all right, let's move on from that, because I've got a ton of news today. Oh, the Venezuelans. Yeah. So Trump, remember how Trump had done several plane loads of Venezuelan or of illegal immigrants or whatever, but sent them to Venezuela and El Salvador. Or no, he sent the Venezuelan migrants to El Salvador. That was it. And the judge had ordered him not to, and he did it anyway. And then the judge ordered him to get them back, and he didn't. And then the judge went after him for contempt. The judge has now ruled, listen to this, U.S. District Judge James Boasberg has ordered the Trump administration to facilitate the return of the Venezuelan migrants who were deported to Salvador's Sicat prison last year in violation of a court order. The judge issued a temporary restraining order and ordered that the planes be turned around, but justice attorneys said his oral instructions directing the flight to be returned were defective and the deportations proceeded as planned. Let's see what happens. This is, again, that whole issue of a constitutional crisis. The judges have no way of forcing. Thank you, Luis. The judges have no way of forcing the Trump administration to do this. I mean, you can go after them for contempt, but then who's going to enforce the contempt? Pam Bondi, Justice Department? She's going to enforce contempt against her own Justice Department, right? For disobeying the judge's orders. And this is what worries me about the election stuff and everything else, is these guys break the law and right? They break the law and then they say, well, who's going to enforce the law, right? We don't care. Very scary stuff. Anyway, thank you, Lupo. We got a lot of cool gifts on TikTok today. Thank you, guys. Polls. I've got a good amount of polling information. Trump is really in trouble on the polls, Republicans. This is good. I think you're going to see a lot more movement among Republicans in terms of not being as pro-Trump in terms of their votes. Currently, Republicans are siding with Trump because they're afraid, right? They're just afraid of getting of Trump coming after them, losing their job. Well, also afraid of their safety as well. What gets interesting is currently Republicans in the House are looking at losing their jobs as a result of this. They're looking at a electoral bloodbath because of the anger at Donald Trump for everything. What will be interesting to see is if those Republicans in the House start to go, I've been doing Donald Trump's bidding because I didn't want Trump to come after me so I'd lose my job. Thank you, Lupo. I didn't want Trump to come after me so I'd lose my job. But what if you're going to lose your job anyway because Trump is making you so unpopular and he's making the Republicans so unpopular? Then you go, okay, I can stick with Trump and for sure lose my job in the fall, or I can turn on Trump. He'll try to make me lose my job, but at least I've got a fighting chance, right? You stick with Trump, you lose your job. You turn on Trump and start to stand up to him on this stuff, vote against him, and at least you've got a chance to save your job. So that's going to be the interesting calculus for Republicans, whether they finally start to go, you know what? We need to start standing up to this guy. I don't know that they will. I don't know these guys have I don't want to say the balls and the backbone because that's not really it. It's about self-preservation. It's not about backbone and courage, right? Whether the self-preservation kicks in enough for them so that they're willing to do this. I'm going to look at one thing really quick. I'm getting a little update. I want to make sure on my StreamYard suggesting that possibly making sure I didn't, I just want to look really quick that I didn't set the video to friends only. Let's see here. No, it's public. It's public. Okay. It's public. We're good. All right. I was afraid it was friends only. We're okay. It says can't post comments to some destinations, but it's working. So we're good. Keeping an eye on the dog. They are spineless, but no, Infinity says Republicans in Congress are spineless. They are, but they want to save their jobs. And that's what will be the interesting question, right? Whether self-preservation kicks in enough that they're willing to turn on Trump in order to try to save their jobs. Substackers who are new, I do keep an eye on the comments. So if you guys chime in, I'm happy to try to respond. I don't see, you guys are commenting few enough that I can see the comments. But I do try to keep an eye on TikTok and YouTube and everybody else just to keep an eye on the comments. So if you've got a question or anything or a comment, I will try to keep a look at it. He's been lying for 80 years, as Carol said. Do I think he's telling them there will not be an election? I don't know if he's telling them. Thank you, Carmen, for the gift. I don't know that Trump would be telling them that. I don't know that he's telling them that. But he's going to do everything he can to cause trouble, Do I dislike people if they're conservative? No. There's a lot of conservatives who are willing to stand up to Trump. Not enough, but a lot. Come on, let's go. I am not a big fan of people defending Donald Trump at this point in life. Conservative, Republican, I don't care. Defending Trump, I think there's a problem because I think we've gotten to the point now where we know who Donald Trump is. And my God, just look what's been happening with the economy, with all the crazy. I mean, he's gone nuts, but the economy, the murder of the guy in Minneapolis, Alex Preddy, not focusing on inflation at all. Did I miss a cool gift? Sorry. What did I miss, guys? Oh, was that? That was Gene. Thank you, Gene. Sorry about that. I was turning to let my dog in, and thank you, Carmen, as well. Sorry about that. Hello, dog. Oh, I got you. You can say hi. She hates being picked up. She's also going to get a grooming soon because she's a big puffball of fur. Hi. You're okay. Okay. All right. Quick hello. All right. There you go. She loathes being picked up. As soon as she saw that, are you insane? She did it again. Okay, I can't show the rest of you. Actually, I can show you. I'm going to do a picture of this. Okay, this is what I'm talking about when it comes to the dog. She Every day she does this to me. This isn't just senility. I put her down over here. Okay. I put her down over here. You can see the tripod, right? The tripod is where my light is on for the show. I put her down and she comes around here and crawls under the tripod, literally scooches under the floor, scooches under the tripod and walks over there. I'm like, what is wrong? Every day she's doing this to me now. Every night we do the show, the dog, she won't walk around. She could go under the table. That would be fine. But the tripod is like this tall, and she gets on the ground and does the, what do you call, limbo or whatever it's called, scooches on the ground and goes under. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Somebody said senility. I'm not convinced it's senility in this case. I think this is just my dog being really weird. I know she knows my buttons exactly. She knows I'm going to look and go, what are you doing? Yeah, she does. I think she finally does have character. Her vision is not as good anymore, but she can tell that, you know. Thank you, Wandering. Wandering did a very generous gift. Thank you, Terry. You guys are being very nice with the gifts tonight. Thank you. Wandering Chill is asking over on YouTube, at the climate part of the live, what was done to public health and continues hasn't been a forefront. Wandering, you have to write this again. Hasn't been a forefront obvious was worth issues needing handling first. Fascism, pedo, ICE, etc. But it's going to be bad. Okay, you need to write that again. Thank you, Big Pink. Oh, very cool, Big Pink. I've never seen that before. You should write that again for free, obviously. What I think Wandering Chill is saying is that climate change is not getting much attention because of all the other crazy, horrific stuff going on with Trump, right? We're dealing with the Epstein stuff, which is horrific. We're dealing with the assaults on democracy of Minnesota. Thank you, Aileen. Appreciate that. It goes with my sweater tonight. The assaults on democracy, the murder of Alex Peretti, the threats to the election, right? I mean, it's like never ending, all the concerns. And you're not wrong. I think that's what you're getting at. You're not wrong that we really, I mean, there's a flood of news, like Robert just said, but we also really haven't been talking. Oh, thank you, Diana. You guys are nuts today on TikTok. Thank you for the gifts. We've really not been talking much about climate change. And he's been gutting climate change, but it hasn't been in the news. Now, part of the problem actually is climate change doesn't have an immediate impact, right? I mean, like he pours more pollution into the atmosphere. That doesn't change anything tomorrow, right? Whereas he murders Alex Peretti, that's immediate impact. People are getting beaten on the streets of Minneapolis, immediate impact. People are getting their homes broken into, right? The Trump administration turns on the Second Amendment and now wants to take away the Second Amendment from rights from a lot of people. That's immediate impact, right? So I think, thank you, Spider. I think part of what we're seeing is that the climate stuff, it's Gunther just said it's a slow burn. That's exactly it. It's slow. And it worries me because it's kind of like the constitutional protections too. In a way, ICE has been doing us a favor, ironically. ICE, it was doing autocorrect wandering. Okay, did I get the main point though? Yeah, what was done to public health. Wandering Chill said what was done to public health was really bad too. But that's another example. And I'm going to talk about some of the public health stuff here in a second. For example, they tried to kill a new flu vaccine. It looks like they're backing off on it now. I'm going to talk about it in a second. Well, when you kill a new flu vaccine because they don't like mRNA, because the COVID people don't like it, and right, this kind of all the COVID bullshit. Well, when you refuse to even test a new mRNA vaccine, there's no immediate impact, right? It's not like tomorrow we all get the flu and die or something, right? You won't know when it's flu season. You won't know what would have been if they didn't play political games with the flu vaccine. You're only going to know if you get the flu or if somebody you know dies of the flu, but you won't know that you got sicker because they played games with the science, right? That's how climate change works. It's not only these things are pushed back in time. So like climate change, right? It'll take years to see the impact of what Trump's doing today, but it's hard to make the causal connection, right? I mean, there's a hurricane in 10 years. You try to draw the connection to what Trump did today. It's hard, right? And the same thing with these vaccines and everything else. All the crazy scientific decisions they're making with RFK Jr., How much has he scared people away from vaccines? How much RFK Jr. is not a fan of the polio vaccine? How much has he convinced people not to take it? RFK Jr. is also not a fan of the measles vaccine. To what degree are people not getting the measles vaccine? I don't know, right? I mean, you don't know to what degree all the misinformation is having an impact. You just know that it's dangerous and it's going to have some impact. Thank you, Dave. I haven't seen that one in a while. I do like that one. It's hard to quantify, and I think when it's hard to quantify, it also makes it not less of an outrage, but Minneapolis, Oregon, Chicago, we all saw what was going on, right? We every day, thank God for the activists. I say activists, not even activists, for the regular citizens. Every day, thank you, Jocelyn. Every day we got to see these thugs going after regular citizens and breaking the law and breaking the Constitution and everything else. That set Trump and that set all of them back it gave us an immediate impact that shocked us, basically. All right. I was about to talk about the polls. Really, every day we've been talking about new poll numbers for Trump, more horrific poll numbers for Trump. Listen to this. Via CNN, Trump's economic net approval among independents. Okay. So thank you, Luis. Economic approval. How do you feel Trump is doing on the economy? That is the number one issue for the election. It always is. It is coming up in the fall. We have the congressional elections in November. Republicans currently are expected to lose the House of Representatives in the elections. The Senate, they will hold on currently, but they're in more trouble, which is fascinating because they shouldn't be in any trouble in the Senate. I'm going to talk to you about net approval ratings. It is a way of looking at polls that gives you a more quantifiable sense of how bad or how well you're doing. What a net approval is the difference between the approval and the disapproval. So, for example, Trump's economic net approval. Do you approve or disapprove of how Trump is doing on the economy? The difference between approve and disapprove is the net. So if it's +9, it means 9% more, 9 points more approve than disapprove. +9 would be 40% disapprove, 49% approve, right? On the economy, let's pretend it's 49% approve, 40% disapprove. That's +9. 49% disapprove, 40% approve. That's -9, right? So you're looking at how positive is the difference between negative and approve and disapprove. So Trump, during his first term, at this point, was +10 on economic net approval, +10. So, for example, 50% approved of how he was doing on the economy, 40% disapproved would be an example, right? But it was +10. Currently on the economy, this is independents, I should say, independent voters, people in the middle. They were +10 on Trump for the economy in the first term. They are currently -43. -43. They dropped 53 points. Trump's popularity with independents on the economy dropped 53 percentage points. That's insane. That's like dropping from 70 to 20. I mean, it's insane. The economy is the number one. I mean, Harry Enten on CNN was like losing it talking about this today. These numbers are horrific. The economy is almost always the number one issue for people. They think Trump is making it worse. Actually, I'll talk about it. Let me get into the numbers. Has Trump made the economy better or worse? Overall. That was independents. Overall voters, do you approve or disapprove of Trump on the economy? Overall voters, Trump's first term at this point, +8 approval. Trump's second term at this point, -18. With overall voters, Trump's approval on the economy has dropped 20 percentage points compared to his first term. Trump has made the economy better or worse. 1 year into his first term, 40% thought Trump made the economy better. 22% thought Trump made the economy worse. Today, so first term, 40% thought Trump made the economy better. Today, 28% thinks he made it better. First term at this point, only 22% thought Trump made the economy worse. Today, 52% think Trump made the economy worse. What else have I got here? 63% of Americans prioritize inflation and the cost of living, meaning 63% of Americans say inflation and the cost of living is one of their top issues they're worried about. Only 25% see it as a top focus of Republicans. 63% of Americans see inflation and the cost of living as their top issue, but only 25% think Republicans are treating it as their top issue. That's bad. Only 24% of independents approve of Trump's handling of the economy. 64% of Hispanic Americans disapprove of Trump's job as president. Interesting. Trump is standing by the staffer who tweeted the racist video of President Obama and Michelle Obama. You'll recall, we all suspect Trump is the one who tweeted it. It was done late at night. It probably wasn't a staffer. Trump tried to get out of it by claiming it was a staffer. Thank you, Lady Bond. It was a video that at the end of it showed the Obamas as gorillas, which is an incredibly racist trope. A lot of Republican members of Congress spoke out and were furious. I'm going to give the dog a touch of water. One moment. All right, you get a touch of water, dog. You get a touch of water. You do. All right. And you'll recall what happened was uproar about this video. Even Republican members of Congress furious. Republican senators furious about this video. The Trump White House, thank you, Soso. The Trump White House comes out and says, it's fine. Caroline Leavitt, the press spokesman, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. There's something wrong with you people. Fake outrage. Bup, bup, bup. Then Trump, a couple hours later, says, I don't know. Some guy did it. Trump or the White House says, some staffer did it. Trump didn't realize. He didn't realize that was in there. Right? He just gave it to a staffer without looking. So now they're kind of admitting it was bad. Then a couple hours later, Trump goes, it was me. I did it. It wasn't some staffer. I sent it out. It was fine. And now he starts saying it was fine. Well, now they seem to be vacillating between whether it was Trump or some staffer. The staffer hasn't been fired. Nobody's been punished at all. And Trump was asked today and said, let me read this by you. Have you fired or disciplined that staffer who posted the video from your account that included the Obamas? Trump, no, I haven't. That was a video on voter fraud, and they had a little piece that had to do with the Lion King. That's it. In other words, Trump is standing by the video now. Trump is now standing by the video. Big surprise. Of course, there's no staffer. Of course, Dawn. Agree. I agree. I exactly, Carol. I don't think there's a staffer at all. But anyway. Homeland Security. So Trump's Homeland Security, because we're talking about the administrative warrants and the judicial warrants. So Trump's people are using administrative warrants, not judicial warrants. Okay. To basically barge into people's homes, to arrest people, etc. You're not allowed to do that. Administrative warrants means Homeland Security issues its own warrant to Homeland Security officers to go barge into your home. Well, courts of law do not like that because basically an independent body has to review the warrant to see if it's valid. Independent body means a judge, because judges are independent. They look and say, Homeland Security, yes, you're right. You can barge into that guy's home. Or Homeland Security, no, you're wrong. You cannot barge into that guy's home. Trump and ICE and Border Patrol have been using administrative warrants, not judicial. It's one of the demands Democrats are making in terms of funding Homeland Security. Well, Homeland Security tweets about it today. Listen to this. And says, here is a list of Latin American countries where law enforcement, I'm sorry, this was different. I thought this is different. This is the other issue. This is the issue of Homeland Security going up to American citizens and demanding that we show our papers and we prove that we're citizens. Now, the Second Amendment people used to be the ones most freaked out about this. They don't seem to care anymore about their Second Amendment or any of their amendments anymore. I hear you. Okay. The dog is on. I think she's feeling a little better on her Rimadyl, but it now means she's getting whinier about wanting to play and stuff. But her neighbor, her dog neighbor is gone. So she's at the door whining, and there ain't no more Brutus for you, Sasha. Sorry. He's alive, but he lives in New York now. The Fourth Amendment. So, Trump has been having Homeland Security, ICE, Border Patrol, stop Americans on the streets and ask them for their papers. hey, Maersk in Denmark, ask us to prove that we're American citizens. We don't do that in America. It's against the law in America. It was against the law in America. I mean, it is to an American up until now, the whole notion of show me your papers was like a joke we would make about Germany. I mean, quite literally, even that expression, show me your papers, to an American, that is a commentary on Germany in World War II. Literally, when you say show me your papers, we don't have in America, we don't have a national ID card. We have state driver. The ID we use is our driver's license. That's what we use. Now, if you fly abroad, you have to have a passport, of course, to get abroad. We don't use passports domestically as IDs. You can, nobody does. You don't do it. We use a driver's license as our ID. That's what we've always done. We do not have a national ID. Why? And the driver's license, by the way, is done by each state. Okay? It's done by each state. We don't do it because Republicans freaked out. Anytime there was anything that whiffed of a national ID, the Republicans would freak out and they didn't want it. Okay? They didn't want it. So currently, these things are issued by states because, God forbid, if it's national and it's the federal government, oh my God, right? Oh my God, right? Well, now they're stopping Americans and asking us to prove that we're American citizens. In order to justify that and say, oh, it's not we always said it was fascism, it's not fascism, Trump's Homeland Security Department sends out a tweet, and I want to show you this. Actually, I'm going to find this tweet for you. They send out a tweet that says, here's a list of the Latin American countries where law enforcement demand proof of identity under reasonable suspicion or during investigations. They send out a tweet of this is Homeland Security, of Latin American countries that demand proof of, oh, here we go. Latin American countries. There's actually two of them here, okay? There's this, and then it continues on the next page. All these Latin American countries that are able to stop you on the street and make you show your papers. Now, I'm looking at this list and I'm going, and then the kicker, it says at the end, here is a list of countries where leftists want this routine practice to end. United States. Trump's Homeland Security Department is saying that we should water down the Fourth Amendment of the United States Constitution. We should start to have people ask for papers like they do in Latin America. They literally made the argument that Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Costa Rica, Cuba, Dominican Republic, Ecuador, El Salvador, Guatemala, Haiti. No offense. Like, I speak Spanish, I speak French, I love Latin America. I do not plan on emulating my constitutional rights off of Cuba, Haiti, El Salvador, right? Bolivia. Love my cousins in Panama, but Panama either. I mean, this is insane. This is absolutely insane. Paraguay? Nicaragua? They literally tweeted Homeland Security and listed all the countries and said, why are Democrats opposed to doing it in America when all these Latin countries allow you to stop people, citizens on the street, and demand their IDs? I mean, guys, like, what is wrong with these people? I just don't what is wrong with these people? First of all, Republicans especially, like, the last thing they would do, well, I'm sure Vani says Haiti doesn't do it. I am sure that they're lying. I am sure that they're lying, right? There's no reason to believe that the tweet is accurate. That's a given. I should have said that because that's a very good point, Vani. There's no reason to believe the tweet is accurate, first of all, right? They lie about everything. But to suggest that we should water down our Fourth Amendment constitutional rights because that's what they do in Cuba. Seriously? Even your best Latin American country, I don't know, take Argentina or something. I don't know, pick a country we really like, Costa Rica. I love Argentina. I don't plan on emulating my constitutional rights after Argentina. I'd like to kind of stick with what we've got. You know what I mean? Like actually Chile, I love that everyone's weighing it and Bombero's going, we don't do that in Chile either. It's like, can the police stop you on the street and say, give me proof that you're a citizen of Chile? Now, this is a legal question, though, so I don't know whether you guys know the answer to this necessarily. You know what I mean? Like you may or may not know for your country. But I'm curious. Well, tell me which country you guys are in if you know. Just kind of curious. Which country are you? Even in El Salvador, they can't do it. See, I thought in El Salvador, Bukele could do whatever he wants. They don't do that in Ecuador. Jamaica doesn't do that. This is pretty funny, actually. Well, I've never been stopped. Vince just said traveling in Latin America as a tourist. That's true. I've never been stopped as a tourist and asked for papers. In France once. France might be the only place I was ever stopped and asked by the police for proof of citizenship. Only place. But it was the 1980s. It was 1984. There was terrorism at the time, early 80s, European terrorism. It was still very scary. It was the CRS, anybody who knows France. And they were being really obnoxious. Like our friend was German and boy, they didn't like her. I mean, blonde German woman, didn't like her. Didn't like me because I had a rep. It wasn't a cask, oh my God. Okay. This is really, I'm forgetting the word in English. It wasn't a cast on my foot. It was a wrapping. Like back then you would like wrap it with stuff. I know casque is a helmet. I know. It wasn't a I was thinking of is it plaque? What's that? I'm forgetting what, or plâtre. Yeah. It was a ribbon around my foot. And the CRS are the kind of nasty anti-riot police. They stop us on the subway. And my German friend, they're all over her. German, oh my God. Mind you, she's like this pretty blonde German woman at age 19 or 20, not liking her at all. And I'm just watching this going like, she's German. She's clearly well-educated. She's pretty. Meaning she's clearly like upper middle class, educated, the whole thing, right? They don't like her because she's German. And with me, and anybody who speaks French, the CRS turns to me and I'm on crutches and I've got the bandage on my foot. And he goes, qu'est-ce que t'as dans la jambe? Qu'est-ce que t'as dans la jambe? What? And in English, it's a very rude way of saying, so what are you hiding inside your foot? And he said it in an incredibly rude way. Like in French, he used the impersonal. He kind of talked in slang. It was literally like, what the fuck are you hiding in your foot? Oh my God. And I was like, it's sprained. like, what are you talking about? So, but that's like the only time that I had that kind of well, I know he said jamba though. Yeah. About leg. I know foot is pied. We're using a little license here today. Fearless or faceless. But that's the only time I think that I'd been stopped and asked for ID for proof of citizenship. I don't think I'd been asked in the US. Never been asked. In actually nowhere in the world have I been stopped by the police and asked for my passport. That just doesn't happen. Now, Colombia, scary. Actually, Colombia and Spain. Fair enough. Spain, it was the Guardia Civil or whatever, who were very scary. Same kind of thing. The sort of the scary police. And Colombia, the same kind of scary military police, basically. Anyway, very scary stuff. Let me see. What else do we have here? I'm trying to see like other. One second, guys. God, we got so much news here today. Epstein stuff. Former Norwegian Prime Minister Thorbjorn Jagland has been charged with gross corruption over his ties to Jeffrey Epstein. Again, everyone around the world is paying a price except for our guys. U.S. Representative Melanie Stansbury tweets, administration officials in the Epstein files, like who among the Trump people are in the Epstein files, right? And says Donald Trump, Melania Trump, Howard Lutnick, Commerce Secretary, John Phelan, Secretary of the Navy, Paolo Zampoli at the Kennedy Center, RFK Jr., Secretary of HHS, Kevin Warsh, Trump's nominee for the Federal Reserve Chairman, Mehmet Oz, Administrative for Center for Medicaid and Medicare, Elon Musk, Alex Acosta, former Secretary of Labor, Bill Barr, former Attorney General, Brett Ratner, film director Melania. Melania's film director is in the Epstein files. Great. 3 new polls show that voters say Biden was the better president over Trump, we talked about this the other day, but one poll, 3 polls now. Voters are asked who was the better president, Biden or Trump. They picked Biden. Pretty wild. Politico, Trump's popularity is sliding even among young men, a group that helped him surge back to office, according to a poll shared exclusively with Playbook. There's endless data to back this up. Eye-catching new polling out. This is from Politico. Eye-catching new polling out today, commissioned by center-left group Third Way, shared exclusively with Politico, finds Trump's favorability is cratering even among young men. The survey of registered voters between the age of 18 and 29 finds a whopping 58% believe Trump has negatively impacted their finances versus just 23% who say he's had a positive impact. The young men surveyed gave Trump a 32% approval rating compared to 66% who disapprove. That's actually lower than the public at large. That 34% gap is a far cry from Trump's 2024 numbers. He won 18 to 29-year-old male voters by 14 points. And now only, 32% approve of him. That's what I'm saying. All of this stuff is amazing. Trump lied again about lowering prescription drug prices. This is an important point, okay? Trump lied about prescription drug prices. He claimed again today, I've lowered prescription drug prices 500, 600, 700%. Here's why it matters. It's a lie. We know it's a lie because a 100% decrease in a price means it costs $0. If something costs $30 and you decrease the price 50%, it means the price is $15. If something's $30 and you decrease the price 100%, the price is $0. You can't decrease the price 500% or 600%, or literally the drug company would be paying you to buy the prescription. So like instead of you paying $30, a 500% decrease would be like the drug company paying you $150 to get the prescription. It makes no sense, right? What is important about this isn't that Donald Trump is lying or that Donald Trump is making up numbers. If Trump actually lowered drug prices, why wouldn't he explain that? Why wouldn't he just tell the truth, right? If Trump lowered drug prices 50%, for example, why wouldn't he just, thank you, Christina, why wouldn't he just say, I lowered drug prices 50% or 15%, 25%, whatever it is? It would be great. Because he's lying about the whole thing. And it frankly calls into question whether he lowered drug prices at all, right? Because if he did it, there's no reason to lie if you actually accomplish something. Basically, normal people don't lie about good things they do, right? You're happy to brag about good, I mean, maybe not happy to brag, but you know what I mean? You're happy to tell people about the good thing you did. You typically don't lie about, I mean, I guess you could, but why lie like so much about it if he actually did it? It makes me think he didn't actually do it, to be honest. Exactly. I don't think he lowered the drug prices. Let me look here. Oh, the suspended Ford company. So the Ford, I was going to look this up. Remember the Ford Motor Company employee who yelled at Trump? What did he yell? He yelled something about, I can't say the word on TikTok, man who assaults young children, underage children. He yelled something like that, yeah, exactly. He called him person who sexually assaults children protector. I'm trying not to use the other P word, and yelled at Trump when Trump was visiting the Ford plant, right? Remember, he got in trouble. His work put him on leave and all this kind of stuff. Well, we found out yesterday that he's not punished. The employee, there's nothing in his record now. So he's totally exonerated. And so not only is his record cleared, people raised $800,000 for him on GoFundMe. He now has $800,000 as well as a thank you for standing up to Trump and risking his job, which is pretty freaking amazing. And honestly, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. That you know, he risked his job. He risked national outrage from the Trump people and, you know, all those kind of MAGA crazies. Good for him. International Olympic Committee banned the Ukrainian skeleton athlete. So the guy doing like the luge kind of thing, whatever it's called, they're calling it a skeleton athlete, whatever the hell that is. But the Ukrainian athlete Vladislav Heroskovich was banned for wearing a customized helmet showing the faces of more than 20 Ukrainian athletes and coaches who were killed during Russia's war. I hear you, dog. I want to show you a picture of the helmet. This is a picture of the helmet. You can see the pictures that he pasted on there of all the Ukrainians killed by the Russian bombs, and they banned him for it. Interesting, because I'm not convinced that it's political. I'm not at all convinced. I mean, people killed by bombs, is that political? Is it, you know what I mean? Hey, stop. Kind-hearted is saying, or Free Robitaille is saying, skeleton is face first on the sled, luge is feet first. Oh, luge is when you're on your back like this and your feet are pointing down. Skeleton is face first. Oh, scary. Okay, that's kind of scary. Anyway, the final story. So this final story, I still need to get more information on it because I don't fully I understand it enough to tell you, but I don't fully understand it. But basically, we know in the last week, that's exactly, Mike, what I'm going to talk about. Oh, no, it might be, I'm talking about something else. The Elon Musk, thank God, finally shut off the Starlink access for Russian troops. Russian troops were using Starlink illegally to go after the Ukrainians, right? And to coordinate their drones, everything. Musk finally shut it off, which is great. Well, the Ukrainians, God bless them, and this is freaking amazing. The Ukrainians set up a scam for the Russians. The Russian troops were freaking out, absolutely freaking out. And I still don't understand exactly how the Ukrainians did this. I'm going to do some more research on this. But bottom line is, they more or less reached out to the Russian troops and said, like, hey, either we do technical support or I'm a Ukrainian. Basically, they reached out to them and pretended like they were willing to help, like regular people willing to help, and told the Russians, oh, we can fix that problem for you. Send us all your information. Send us your account name for Starlink, all your Starlink account information, and send us your detailed location. Thank you, OC, because it's important for us to know your location so we can figure out the satellite, and includes, I forget how much money. They raised $6,000 from Russia. It's total scam. 2,400 Russian soldiers sent in details about their Starlink access, sent in details about their location, and sent $6,000. They had them, whether it was Venmo or crypto, whatever they did. Absolutely amazing. Now, the thing is, what I was reading was the locations of the Starlink are the best locations. Joe Blow isn't using Starlink. Starlink is being used at, like, the headquarters for drones and this kind of stuff. They now have, well, they probably already bombed them. They had the key locations the Russians were using all across, like, occupied Ukraine and Russia. Yeah, that's a real bingo. Exactly. But I've got it. Maybe for tomorrow, I'll Google, because Preston Stewart did do a talk about it. I got some of it from Preston, but it was still a little confusing to me as to what exactly, like how exactly they did it. Absolutely freaking brilliant what they did. I did not see that original Tired Guy, but we did talk about it. Thank you, Red, for the gifts. I did mention earlier in the week that FIFA, the international soccer body, international football body, was talking about letting the Russians back in. So we did talk about that, yes. But I did not see that the Ukrainians were planning on talking. Oh, good. I hope they do. Hope it has an impact. Who knows, Anyway, guys, so we've got another 10 minutes or so where we hang out. Red Iron is asking an update on the Tulsi Gabbard whistleblower report. Yes, it's a little confusing. Thank you, Dawn. I haven't seen that one before. That's cute. It's a little confusing. So we know there was some whistleblower complaint about Tulsi Gabbard, Trump's director of national intelligence. Not about her. We know that it was something that she allegedly tried to hide, allegedly. And it was reportedly 2 intelligence officers abroad were talking about a senior Trump official. And it was so disturbing what they said that that it was passed along, and Tulsi Gabbard reportedly said, "Don't you dare tell anybody, send me the files," and she buried it, which makes you wonder, who are they talking about? What did they allege? Well, Congress gets a whistleblower complaint. Congress wants to be briefed on it, and the White House says, we can't tell you because it's too classified. Like, what do you mean it's too classified? There's nothing too classified for, Congress, the heads of the Intelligence Committee, et cetera. Today, we find out that it was two intelligence officials talking about Jared Kushner. Now, the story says, they were just talking about Jared Kushner and saying, it looks like Jared Kushner is going to be the key counterpoint on Iran negotiations or something. And you're like, why would you have to bury that? Buried in the article is another thing that says, and there was an allegation about Jared Kushner that that senior officials said was not substantiated anywhere and was totally false. So there was some horrific allegation about Jared Kushner by two foreign intelligence officers that was picked up by U.S. intelligence. And it was so troubling that somebody in U.S. intelligence passed it along. And it was so troubling that the White House killed it. Maybe it's not true. I don't know. But I'd like to know what the hell the allegation was about Kushner, right? Pretty weird stuff. Anyway, and yes, JTA, it is very troubling that one person is able to turn satellites on and off. It is incredibly dangerous that Elon Musk has this much power. It is very much so, yes. Which he did this to Ukrainians too. He admitted it and then he tried to back off and claim he didn't. But he initially had admitted it for the book that Walter Isaacson did, that he turned off Starlink for the Ukrainians just as they were launching a boat drone attack on the Russians. And he turned it off in the middle of the attack and then turned around and denied he ever said it. It was like, really? Kind-hearted, did you have an earlier question? I don't know that I did. States have, let me see. States have real ID. It can be used for airport entries, some government entries. Yeah, that's a state ID. What's your point? Yes? That's not a national ID. Real ID, we are all required to have real ID now for our state driver's license. Real ID, to the best of my knowledge, is not a national ID. America does not issue national ID cards. You can get a passport if you want. You can get a passport card. Real ID, is Real ID an ID card that is issued by the United States government in Washington? Is it? I'm willing to put money that it's not. Thank you. That's my point. That's right. It's your state driver's license. That's what I said. In America, if you go to Europe, there are national identity cards. Paris doesn't issue an identity card. You get the national identity card in France, carte d'identité, among other things, right? We don't have such a thing in America. There is no such thing in America. A state issues a driver's license. That's what we use as our IDs. That's my point. Yeah, Colorado is not the federal government. You're backing up my point, Kenny. You're agreeing with me, Penny. The federal government does not have a national ID in America. There's no such thing. It is only at the state level. Thus my point. The UK doesn't. Does the UK not have some kind of a national ID? You must. Do you not? Okay. Solak says Real ID is thank you, Stormy. Real ID is an additional mark on a state driver's license that indicates you brought further proof of identification. So is Real ID like the little star that's on my DC driver's license? Because there's a little star on there I didn't remember before, but I do have Real ID on my license, but I wasn't sure. That's what it is? Okay. UK did it, not popular. Yeah, not popular here either. I hear you, dog. Just really, are you going to go under two of them now? Is that the idea? We're going under two of the stands? Is that we're trying to? I guess so. Hi. Now she's trying to go under the other. Now she's trying to go under the stand that my the tripod that my light is on. My light for the show. Let me show you. She cracks me up. She absolutely cracks me up. Hang on. What is this? I hear you, but you know what? We're still not ready. She's trying to get a treat, an early treat out of me. Sasha. Oh, where is this? I hate when it does this. Ah, come on. Hey, that's enough. She doesn't hear well, so I occasionally have to yell at her. Hey, stop it. Recently saved. I took a picture of my dog and now I can't find it. Why did the iPhone change? Am I the only person the iPhone did this to? Like, they change things so, like, when I take pictures, I can't always find the most recent thing I took a picture of, and it drives me up the wall. Any case, so here you go. So this is Sasha crawling between the tripod, like I told you. This is the second tripod. She loves to do this. I don't know why. You can see here. I don't know why she does this. Loves to do it. Just climbs under the tripod. And it's funny too, because her eyes are not great, but she does masterfully climbing under the tripod. It's just, I mean, it's insane. And now she's laying down again in her bed. She's like, rrr, rrr. Oh my God, she's insane. I know she's very cute, but she's just insane. Anyway, Apple change tout souvent. Went. No, they changed something now where when I take photos, I can't always find the photo because it's like not in the recently saved, it's in some other thing. And I'm like, oh my God. Well, the other issue I have with my iPhone, thank you for a baby. And I don't know if I've got this, other people must have this too. I have been to the Air and Space Museum out in Dulles. Yes, it's very nice. It's just far to get to. I've only been once because it's very far to get to for people who live in DC. It's very far away. I'd love to go back, but I've only been there once for that reason. When I take videos with my iPhone, a lot of times it doesn't start the video. You hit the button and it doesn't start. And then I think I'm taking a video and I'm like, I got it. And at the end I hit stop and it starts. And I think what's going on is that I think when you go, oh my God, and you start your video, you open the video app and then push the start button, there's a lag of maybe a second or two that if you don't start the video, or in other words, open the video app and then stop a second and then hit the damn button. Yeah, but if you double tap, Jeff, you could have the same problem. If you double tap the start button, you could start and stop it. It is again, if it happens to me, it means it's happening to other people. All the freaking time this happens. And it drives me nuts because, of course, it happens not when you're, oh, I think I'll take a video, because then you're going slow. If you go, oh my God, what's the dog doing? What's the baby doing? And you grab your phone and start the video, it will not work because you've got to open the video and then literally wait go 1,000 and then hit start. I never do it. I have screwed up so many videos I've lost. It's very annoying anyway. Very annoying. Anyway, what do you do? Anyway, well, this is good, guys. 56 on Substack. We got a lot of Substack people tonight. I'm very glad to see. Excellent. It's in library or whatever. Who knows? I mean, it's probably, the problem is even getting back and forth from library to recent. I don't understand the difference. Why is recent any different than library? Why do I need recent? Why not just go to library? Because library is chronological anyway. So the first things coming up in library are the most recent. Why do I need a folder that says recently saved? Do you know what I mean? They've literally got two folders now. The library, which is all your photos chronologically, starting with the most recently saved, or a separate folder that says recently saved. But they're the same thing, other than recently saved doesn't always have everything recently saved. Anyway, very annoying. It's okay. Mighty Dog? I don't remember. Yeah. On the 3 lines in the library tag? All right, let me look and see where people are giving us iPhone tips now. Let me go look just for fun. Libraries, 3 line. Yeah, that's how it's sorted by. I know that. Yeah. No, it's like I said, there's a recently saved, and I don't know what the point of recently saved is because it doesn't have the most recent. Oh, it's recently saved. Oh, that's weird. Recently saved is recently saved. Like I saved a photo, not I took a photo. It's got to be something you saved. So it's a photo that was texted to you and you saved it. It's not going to show you a photo that you take. Oh, that's just weird. Why would I want a folder that's just things I've saved? I don't even know what, like, I didn't know until today that that's what it even meant. Why would you care? Right? Things maybe somebody uses it differently. That's weird. That's weird. Oh, I didn't. Was Rob asking more about the Smithsonian? I didn't see. Sorry. It is very cool. The annex to the Air and Space Museum out by Dulles Airport. That's the airport Trump's trying to rename after himself. The space shuttles there, as I recall, maybe Spirit of St. Louis or so. I don't remember what else. But won't troll anymore. Okay, yes. But you know, well, you can also move things around, NJ. You can move stuff around, which I did to make it a little easier. But you know, anyway. Well, this is Dulles Airport, not Dallas, Doug. This is Dulles, Virginia. Is that what you meant? Did you mean that instead of Dallas? But yeah, the shuttle's out there. I'm forgetting what else. I just remember the space shuttle was there, which is kind of cool. I haven't been to the Air and Space Museum in a very long time, like possibly decades. I mean, I've been there a lot. Am I MAGA or not? You clearly don't watch the show. Clearly do not watch this show if you're asking if I'm MAGA. Anyway. Oh, actually, we're almost done here, guys. It's 7:18. Exactly. Dulles is the airport out in Virginia where the Air and Space Annex is. Dallas is, of course, the city in Texas where they do not have the Air and Space Museum. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go in a second here. I usually go about an hour and 15 minutes, which is where we are. Substackers, thank you for joining. I'm so glad we got like 57 of you guys today. This is great. This is really great. Because I had thought, you know what? I'm going to try to stream on Substack because we do this almost every night, Monday to Friday, 6 o'clock Eastern. And I thought I'm going to try to stream on Substack, and it worked. So I'm very glad about that. But for the rest of you, yeah. So tomorrow, Friday, I will have another show, 6 o'clock Eastern. Saturday morning, 11 a.m. is my show for the monthly subscribers. That's all the Substack paid subscribers, the TikTok super fans, YouTube, Discord as well, monthly subscribers. So anybody who's a monthly subscriber, join us at 11 a.m. Eastern time, US. Substack is its own unique platform. It's a different kind of platform entirely. You can just Google my name in Substack. You'll find it. Totally different platform. But I'm doing a morning video on Substack as well. Because it's a different way of getting subscriptions and stuff that people have found since I do this for a living, I'm trying to find ways to, make a living doing this. Substack is a nice way to do it. So, yes, Sasha is the co-pilot of the show. Exactly. She's always been demanding. And now that she's old, she's even more demanding. Yes. So I think she's feeling better though. I mean, she's on the Rimadyl, she's still like limping a little, but she's kind of going quicker. Again, ran down the hallway today again. And I was just like, oh God, I'm just a little afraid, like whatever it is, she's going to throw it if she's running down the hallway, but it's subtle, but I think she's acting better. But again, let's see, I'm gonna try. I'm her favorite butler. That's exactly right. Anyway, yeah, I don't know what that means, except that you're a crazy person. You're leaving now. Yeah, exactly. That person gets banned as well. Blue. That I was wondering if they were crazy or not, but they're cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, unfortunately. Anyway, yeah, no, she feels good enough to run, but she was even doing that a few days ago, which I was like, stop it. But she still limps. Thank you, Amanda. She limps, but she's running down the hall. So, you're seeing a chiropractor. Oh, hopefully chiropractor's okay. Who knows what it is? I mean, in my apartment's a little cool, which I try to keep it warm. I keep the sweater on her. Again, it's hard to tell. She's getting her gabapentin 3 times a day. We're trying the Rimadyl now, which is a little risky, but she's 16. What do you do? I mean, meaning, there are risks because it's an NSAID, but she's 16 and she's clearly in a little pain. The alternatives are getting rid of her. So I'm not doing that. So if I've got to risk her with a little pain medicine, that's the risk worth taking, So, and she's up on the move again. Up on the move. All right. All right. I'm going to get going, guys. Thank you for joining us. No idea what the hell that means. All right, guys. I'm going to see you later. Thank you for joining us, everybody. Appreciate it. Discord, have a good night. Good to see a good crowd on Discord as well. Good night, Discord. Boom. You guys, Substack, I'm going to remember your name. I keep calling you Discord. So many people on Substack. I'm so happy you guys joined tonight. Thank you. All right, have a good night, Substackers. Tomorrow morning, I am doing a little video every Monday to Friday, doing like a video update on the news kind of thing, just for Substack. Friday, maybe Saturday I'm going to do the show. So Saturday will be the unique show. So Saturday is the paid subscribers. Tomorrow I'll do it for everybody. So I do that in the morning. Go check it out. Anyway, have a good night. I'm going to try to see if I can hang up here. Here it is. End button. Okay. By Discord. Substack, not Discord. Substack. All right. All right. That worked. Sasha, stop. Publish audio to podcast feeds. Publish full recording to YouTube. Sasha, stop. Publish clips of YouTube Shorts. That could be interesting. Publish audio to podcast feeds. Send post as email. No. Audio to podcast feeds. Okay. Stop. All right. Well, let's see. Okay. Substack is doing its thing. Interesting. All right. And sorry, YouTube by YouTube, etc. Have a good night, guys. Boom. All right. And then